in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to do today with this educational video, I'm going to play some clips out of Fair Use to explain the topic today. What is the topic? For years, decades, a lot of decades, men have been portrayed as predators, pedophiles, as if only men think about doing things like that. So what I'm going to do, you know I love to debunk BS, I'm going to show you, ladies and gentlemen, how women, black women in particular, in my most humble opinion, has the same capacity of being a pedophile, being a sexual predator. And I'm going to show you this in this educational video to educate you that a pedophile can be a woman as well. Get ready as I pull up the screen for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it.
Very disturbing story this evening out of Columbus. A 17-year-old girl is charged because she's having or had sex with a 10-year-old boy.
WTVA's Chris Knowles has been following this story today. He joins us live in Columbus with what he's found.
Right now, I'm standing outside of the Columbus Municipal Court. Now, just a few hours ago, I was here, just in this very courtroom, and they charged a 17-year-old. And not only that, they charged her mother.
The mother and the daughter was working together when it came to sexually assaulting two young boys, according to the news.
Not only that, they charged her mother. Take a look. Pictured is 17-year-old Miracle Morgan. She is charged with sexual battery and statutory rape after allegedly having sex with a 10-year-old, according to Columbus Police Chief Joseph Daltrey. Daltrey says it all happened on Mother's Day. He says a group of kids were gathered and saw it happen. He says the children who watched it told the police. He says Morgan's mother brought one of her other children and...
Now I want you to understand what you just heard. This woman, this 17-year-old woman, touched this boy, 10-year-old boy, in front of other people, and they watched her, other youngsters, I guess around 10, 11 too, watched her do this.
Who watched it told the police. He says Morgan's mother brought one of her other children and some other kids to the homes of those who talked to the police to fight them. The mother and those other children have been arrested.
I mean, it was disturbing. It really was. But then I was also a little more disturbing as well when I found out that the mother brought her children to beat up the people who saw what took place. You know, that's not going to be tolerated. Nobody should have to.
Now, when I said the mother was involved, this is what I meant. I want to clear that up. The mother brought other children to beat up the people who was abused to keep it a secret. So the mother was in on it as well. Instead of the mother. See, how is it that y'all do that? Y'all say things like the men are the ones doing this when we want to jump over the fact that women do it too. Women do it a lot more than you think they do. Women touch on youngsters way more, far more than you think they do.
Who saw what took place. You know, that's not going to be tolerated. Nobody should have to worry about people coming, jumping on them or breaking in doors and wanting to fight them for what? Because you did wrong? Oh, okay, keep on. We're going to have a place for you. You know, we put the mama in jail. Mama act a fool, she going to jail too. Everybody goes to jail.
I talked to some people around the community about it. They asked not to be on camera. They were disgusted.
I think she's got a problem, a bad problem. Probably started from childhood, and now that she's become a teenager, it's gotten worse, and that her parents...
I agree with that. This 17-year-old who was touching the 10-year-old, they didn't just wake up doing that. I believe personally that the mother was touching this 17-year-old who touched the 10-year-old. I believe that that woman who touched the youngster was already being assaulted herself from her mother. That's the only reason I can think of why the mother would want to keep it quiet. You get what I'm saying? Because it would expose her as well down the line. They will reveal that she also was a victim of sexual abuse.
didn't wash out her teacher any better.
Morgan's bond was set at $100,000. Now, we have just learned that Columbus police have dropped two of the 3 charges, and now she's only charged with sexual battery. I talked to some people around the community that were not on camera, but they did tell me, well, they were honestly just speechless at first, and they told me they are sickened by this. Reporting live in Columbus, Chris Knowles, WTVA 9 News.
Now, that happened in May. All right, that was this year. You know what I mean? So that's just one case that you find. There's many cases that you don't know about. So another thing I noticed about this generation now, a lot of these women love to be naked in front of their children. When I grew up, a woman had modesty. Like if she was on the toilet or something like that and she heard you coming, she'll close the door so you wouldn't be able to see her on the toilet. Nowadays, these youngsters, the young boys, they are more familiar with a woman's breast, buttocks, and vagina now before they hit puberty because they see it all the time with their mama. Some of these mothers walk around the house bucking naked. Some of these mothers walk around with thongs on, looking like a video vixen in front of their sons. And their sons going to have urges. They might not understand them as they grow, but they're going to have urges. And some of these women will sleep in beds with their sons, and their teenage sons, naked or in lingerie or half naked, t-shirt, panties, t-shirt, no panties. This is factual. You can look this stuff up now. With their young boys, making them into son husbands. This is how incest is easy to happen. They make it where ancestral relationships can happen. I'm going to put a woman up here who's going to speak more on it, though. In case you don't believe me, I'll let a black woman tell you.
Ladies, stop walking around your sons butt-ass naked. It is emotional incest, whether you want to believe it or not. Let's talk about it. I give 0 fucks who I offend in this video because the reason why we have a nation full of toxic men with mommy issues is because their mommies are toxic. And it's time that we start exposing these toxic mommies for the shit they expose their sons to in their early childhood, causing them long-term trauma. And when they become adults, they take this trauma that they have towards their mamas, the trauma that their mamas created, and they punish their wives and girlfriends for it. If your son is a baby, a toddler, you're breastfeeding him, you're nursing him, you know, he's at an age where he doesn't understand or comprehend nudity. It's totally fine, you know, when they're that small. But as they approach, 5 years old, they're in kindergarten, you don't need to be walking around your sons naked. And you don't need to let them sleep in the bed with you. You have to draw a boundary because this is how it's affecting boys. And it's long-term damage that is caused by their mammies. When your son becomes old enough to watch television and he sees certain commercials and certain things on television, everything is sexualized on TV.
True.
He's going to start, feeling a certain way towards the things, specifically women that he sees on television and women that he sees out in the community, even his school teachers. He may be even attracted to them. His first attraction towards women is his mother. And it is on you, his mother, to create a boundary and say, hey, son, and this is subconsciously, hey, son, I'm not your girlfriend or wife. You are not to lust after me. I'm your nurturer. God put me here to be your protector and nurturer, but that's where it ends. But when you walk around naked or you allow your little boy in the bed with you, especially if he's a preteen, shame on
A teenager in the bed with his mother half naked. This is why you got to have fathers in the household, because fathers they're not going to put up with that. He's going to be someplace else in the room, sleeping someplace else. You mothers have crossed the line. You have changed motherhood into relationships or freaky, perverted relationships with your sons. So yeah, women can also be pedophiles. And I just want to bring this out into the light. I just want to expose that truth because we hear about the men doing it so much, but it's funny how women don't want to take accountability for this, but they quick to make a man want to take accountability for that. So let's keep going.
Shame on you. Then he starts getting things confused, mixed signals saying, hey, is mommy my mommy or is she a sexual object? That's your fault, ladies. Narcissistic women create nasty, codependent, enmeshed relationships with their son, and it messes their son's minds up long term. And then when they get married, they punish their wives and they mistreat their wives and treat their wives like their mothers. They take their anger that they have for their mama out on their wives and their girlfriends, and it needs to stop.
There you have it. That's proof. You know, I always bring you receipts. I bring you proof of everything I say. And a lot of it comes from the women's mouth. I got men that talk on here too, but the women are telling you the same thing. The women are telling you the same thing that I say. The same thing.
Right? But where do you draw the line as of abuse? Especially when this child had burns on the feet and penis.
This child had burns on his feet and on his penis from a woman that was abusing him in a perverted way.
That child should never been back with her.
Ever.
Or any kids after that. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows that she's abusing him to a point that she can kill him.
Exactly. Women can abuse the son to the point where they delete him. Think about it now. So you're not only touching them the wrong way, you're also torturing them because you're burning the child too. Hey, don't get mad at me. I just bring you the truth. Thank y'all for y'all support. Let me know what y'all think about this episode. Talk to y'all later.
Ooh, ooh.